This is the plaintiff, Lori Giacalone. She says she hired the defendant to plow her driveway after a huge storm dumped over a foot of snow at her house. The inexperienced guy damaged her brickwork and asphalt, broke a gate, and she won't stand around and let the plaintiff take advantage of her by not paying for his misdeeds. So she's suing for $2,105, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Ken Fitzpatrick. He says he told the plaintiff he would repair her asphalt when the weather became warmer, but the impatient lady wouldn't hear of it. As far as her fence goes, he was nowhere near it, didn't touch it, and certainly didn't damage it. He's accused of snowing a lady, but good.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Lori Giacalone, you are suing Ken Fitzpatrick and the company name that we're not allowed to use that is written on the truck that Ken Fitzpatrick was using for $2,105 in damages to your driveway that you say he committed when he plowed your driveway. Tell me what happened.
It was on February 10th, it was that big snowstorm. It was like over a foot of snow. So around like 9 o'clock at night, I hear a big truck outside, and I look, and I obviously see that there's a bobcat in a big truck, and he's looking to plow. I think he went to a couple of neighbors, and everybody refused. And when he came to my door, we basically spoke about a price. I basically explained to him, I don't really have anybody to help me. I don't have that kind of money. What can you do? So we went back and forth, and he said,
what did he quoted you?
I believe we started at $100, and then we went down to $30, and I was excited. I mean, that was a great price because I have a really big driveway, and I was concerned how I was going to get to work the next day. So he had a bobcat, and he, did my driveway. He had another guy shoveling, and it was about 40 minutes later. It was done, and we did discuss beforehand. I didn't have cash. He said, "Okay, just make a check out to cash." So it was kind of dark. I had like a spotlight, but not that bright. It couldn't light up the whole driveway, and I was really satisfied, and I gave him the check, and not asking any information about him. I was just so happy knowing I could get to work tomorrow. The next day, as I'm getting my car out, I noticed throughout my whole driveway all the bricks are shift, and I also noticed asphalt pieces like in the driveway. And as I look closer, you could tell like there's obviously like a hole, like a patch, like pieces just broken all over. And I noticed that, and the first thing I thought of was like, who is this guy? I did not even get his information, didn't ask anything, because I learned a lesson, now to get that information. So I ran inside, I canceled the check, and the next day I happened to see him in the neighborhood with his big truck, with his bobcat, going around the neighborhood. And I seen him go down a block, and I kind of like cornered him in a way. Like I said, I honked. I said, hey, I said,
how
hello.
did you corner him?
Well, because he was trying to make a U-turn, and I put my car in a way that if he tried to pass,
he could T-bone you?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to get his attention. I wanted to get his attention to let him know, and I was honking. And then he rolled his window. I said, you were at my driveway the other day. I said, you did damage. I said, my brickwork, my driveway, the asphalt, and my fence. I said, there's damage. I said, please. I said, come back and, take care of your responsibilities. And he said, he thought I was yelling at him, but this truck was so loud. I was just talking loud to get his attention. And he said, calm down, calm down. And I said, I basically said, all right.
There's nothing that calms down an angry woman more effectively than when a man looks at her when she's mad and says, calm down.
So I said,
can I just tell you, how old are you?
Yeah.
Me? I'm 23.
How old? 23. Learn this lesson now. Don't be like my husband, who's 50 and hasn't learned that lesson yet. Ditch the words calm down from your vocabulary, period, okay? Go ahead.
So I said, can I have your number? I said, can I have your phone number? And he says, no, I'll take your number. So I seen on his truck, I seen the name of the company, which I'm not going to say, and the phone number. So I grabbed a pen, a piece of paper, and I wrote it down. He says, don't bother writing that down. That company has nothing to do. He goes, I just bought the truck, and don't even bother. He goes, I'll contact you. I said, please. I said, contact me. I said, this needs to get fixed.
Did he ever come by your house to see the damage?
Never came by.
Okay, did you ever go by, you plowed her house, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now tell me about what experience you have plowing and how, is this like a side job you do when it snows, or is this your day job?
Oh, I'm an operator, a truck driver and an operator. And I plowed.
I guess it can't really be your day job, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
what would you do all summer?
Like
Okay,
I
so
was
it's
in
a
Alaska.
side job for everybody who does it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I did a couple of neighbors' houses. You know, I've been doing this for 5 years. I have more than enough experience.
Okay. What, did you ever go back to her property to see the damage?
I did when
Okay.
she was not there though.
Okay, and what'd you see?
I
Do you
told
have
her.
pictures?
I do have
Can
pictures.
hand the pictures to Douglas? Go ahead.
I did. When I knocked on her door, I told her I was finished with the driveway. I did tell her that I ripped up a small piece of her driveway.
Of asphalt?
Of asphalt, yes.
You told her that?
I told her that.
Is that accurate?
I never spoke to him after that. That is
No,
not.
he means the night before you paid him the money, he told you.
Never. He never
And
conversated
you're
with me
saying I
like
told her
that.
that. Do you
I
have
told her.
any proof that you
Never.
told her? Is there another witness to that, an affidavit from anybody working with you, anything?
He was supposed to come with me today, and he never showed up.
Oh, wow, left you high and dry. Go on.
And you can't do cold patch in the wintertime. You have to wait for the
What's
spring.
cold patch?
It's asphalt.
Okay.
You know, to repair the hole in the driveway.
Uh-huh. That's okay. The driveway consists of brick
Yes.
on the sides, like a little brick wall on each side, and asphalt in the center. The
Yeah.
asphalt is what is ripped. You were saying that the brick was ripped and a gate was broken. Show me the pictures of that.
Okay. Well, the brick is not what it is. It's all out of place. I guess when he plowed, he lifted all the bricks, and they're cemented, so you can't just put them back into place. A lot of them has been damaged, that they have to be aligned back in certain sections through the driveway.
Why can't you just put them into place? Do you have a picture of damaged brick?
No, but it's underneath. The person who gave me the estimate, it looks like you could put it back into place, but you can't.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like you could, but it's cemented, and a lot of them are not going to be aligned right because
And then this is the gate?
that's the gate.
You guys hit the gate?
We didn't hit the gate. We didn't hit the wall either, Your Honor.
You claim you know that you ripped the asphalt and you told her that night? How would you even know that when you're plowing?
Because when I lifted the bucket on the Bobcat and dumped it into the snow into the grass, I seen the little piece of asphalt.
And if you did that and you had to come back and repair it, and you told a person, why would the person pay you $30? I sure as heck wouldn't, because the repair's going to be more than $30.
Well, I said that I would repair it.
Well, how do I know you are? I'll pay you your $30 after you repair it. Like, wouldn't that be, if you had told a person that, wouldn't that be the natural thing for the person to say?
I guess, Your Honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which makes it sound like maybe you were hoping she wouldn't notice or something.
Not at all.
That makes me a little nervous.
So if somebody damages your driveway, would you withhold some payment or would you still pay them in full?
I would withhold it.
Pardon me?
I would withhold it.
You would withhold it?
Yes.
You wouldn't lump the two? You wouldn't say, oh, you did the job and then we'll deal with the other later?
Oh, no.
Would you withhold?
Absolutely, definitely.
Withhold?
Yeah.
You know what the judge is going to do? The judge is going to say that you have to pay them because they did the work.
Well, but if they did the work but they damaged the driveway, you get to deduct that in my book going inside the courtroom.
So you went back to her place. Did you ring the doorbell to see if she was there?
Yeah, I did. No one
And
answered
no
the
one
door.
answered. You see that, and then what do you do?
That when she cut me off that time, cornered me into.
Tell me about that. She cut you off?
She went around me and just blocked me the front of my truck off. You know, it's a big truck. It's a 25,000-pound truck. I mean, they don't just stop on the dime like that.
No.
You know? So I mean, she put her own life in jeopardy over a driveway.
Oh, you were stopped. You weren't. You were making.
Were you doing a U-turn? Don't interrupt him. Were
I'm
you doing a
sorry.
U-turn or were you just
I was
driving?
about to do a U-turn.
Okay.
You know.
So go on.
So she was yelling at me, and then I told her, calm down. And then I turned the truck off, and she apologized. I did give her my number that night, and then
Don't.
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
on.
I did give her my number that night, but I called. Actually, her husband called me the next day, and I spoke to him and told him about the cold patch that I can't put it down until the weather gets warm, because cold patch won't stick.
Right.
And he said, okay. And now the guy I bought the truck from, Mario, is the guy I bought the truck from,
When had you bought that truck?
maybe 3 weeks before
Okay.
the snowstorm.
Okay.
And
And you had bought it from the company that doesn't want their name used, right?
yes,
Now, that company, I got to know, because there's a lawsuit against that company, because it's their truck and you. And I have to know that that you actually bought it and registered it in your name. And do you have a bill of sale?
no, I don't.
Do you have a registration?
No, I don't.
Okay. Because how do I know that this isn't just a pal of yours whose truck you borrowed to do a little side job, in which case he's on the hook too?
Yeah, no, I understand that. No,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
I bought the truck for $10,000. I mean,
and what? You don't register trucks that you buy for $10,000?
no, I actually, I still had his license plates on it. It was still insured. The truck was still insured.
He's out of gas then. I got
sorry?
news for you. You got your friend in trouble because if there's a judgment against you, it's against both of you. Because if that car's still registered in his name, she has a right to, if the vehicle is still registered in his name, she has a right to sue him for it.
Well, the truck itself, not the Bobcat, the roll-off truck.
What did you buy from him?
I bought the roll-off truck that I carried the Bobcat inside of the roll-off truck. The roll-off had nothing to do with the damage to her property. The Bobcat was mine.
What does that company do for a living?
Well, we do demolition.
I thought you didn't have anything to do with them.
Well, I have we both own demolition companies.
Oh. And you have power of attorney to represent them here, but you got nothing to do with them.
Yeah. Well, we're very good friends. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna need to have proof that you bought that truck, so you're gonna need to prove that up, and if you don't, and there's a judgment against you today, it's gonna be against both of you. Even if the roll-off truck didn't have, that's the company name that is blaring to the public, and you can't do that and then say, I got nothing to do with it. So I need to see that in fact, is not their truck and it is your truck. You know, I don't begrudge you the opportunity to make a buck during these circumstances, but you gotta be careful when you're doing it. You're telling me I accidentally ripped up asphalt and I told her about it, but she paid me my 30 bucks anyway. I know I did that because I saw it come out of the bucket, and I told her about it. She denies that you ever told her about it. It sounds more like she is being more truthful about that fact than you are, because it's inconceivable to me that someone for whom the $30 means a lot would turn around and pay you when it is pending for you to fix even the asphalt that you agreed to. And it's too big a coincidence that you ripped the asphalt because you were not careful about what you were doing, and then there's these other things wrong as well, but you didn't do those things. Where's that gate in relation to the driveway?
It's in the back. It's in the back. It's the end of the driveway.
So if you take this path of the driveway, okay,
you go
wait, this
up.
picture shows it. This picture
Yeah,
shows
you
it.
go up.
But he was plowing in the area where the gate is because all
Yes.
that was full of snow too,
Yes,
and that
and
was
I-
part of the driveway.
Yes.
Yeah, I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of the $2,105. This verdict is against both you and that company unless I'm going to give you 10 days to provide to me proof that that company doesn't own that car, that you bought it from them. Verdict against both defendants, $2,105.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, see what the plaintiff has to say about this. He's just gotten his friend in trouble. Did you expect this outcome?
I did not.
Uh-huh.
I did not.
Well, what's your friend going to say when he finds out that you just got him tied up in a lawsuit?
I'm going to have to pay him back, I guess. He's not going to be too happy.
No.
Yeah.
You said he's a good friend, right?
He's a very good friend of mine, yes.
Okay. You know, will he still be a good friend, do you think?
I hope so.
All right. All right. So you're gonna get that stuff done. You're gonna get the proof back to the judge, right?
Of
You got
course.
a job to do. Okay, head right out this
Thank
way.
you.
All right, come on in here. What are you gonna do next? You're gonna take this money and fix your driveway? Here, step up here. Right up here, okay?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm going to fix it, and today was a really good day, really good victory, and to feel helpless and to come this way is a great thing. So I'm very rewarded.
You mean you think he tried to take advantage of you because?
I don't really know. I hope that's not his intention.
Would you calm down?
Okay.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, aside from legally it having an impact on your position, if somebody damages your property while they're performing a service, I am telling you, withhold money. And you got to look them in the eye and say, look, I am withholding X amount, and it should have some correlation to the damage done. But if you don't do that, I'm telling you, in 80% of the cases, good luck getting that money short of going to court. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.